our next plan. We have left the cookie bells. I've changed back out of my cruise shirt in case I get dirt on my shirt. And we're ready to do some practice. Here goes. Man overboard, port side. Everybody stand, sit down, sit down, sit down. 2 people keep spotting, keep spotting. Okay, we'll plan to pick up on port side.
Here you can see that we had the side gate open, and later when we did the actual Coast Guard inspection, they recommended that we clip in with our harnesses onto one of the rails on the side so that we don't fall over as well.
We didn't throw them a life jacket.
Because it was a drill and we had already thrown a life jacket, we did not throw another life jacket. But if it was not a drill and if it was real, we would definitely throw them the ring, a life jacket, and possibly some of the seat cushions to mark the area.
Yeah, I'll bring it to you in just a second.
Coming up, you're going to see the exact reason why I was insistent that we do this drill in person several times. And one was just familiarity with the equipment that we were going to use. What is it? Fight like you train, train like you fight. Put your hands on the exact equipment that you're going to be using.
Okay, everybody stay seated except for the spotter.
And you're going to see that I get the ladder out. I know exactly how to unfold it, but when it comes to slipping it into the sockets where it went, there are these rubber caps over the ends that threw me off, and I wasn't sure I could actually get the ladder where it was supposed to go. In the end, I did figure it out, and we did get it to fit in. Performing the maneuver really drove home the idea that I've always thought that you need to practice with the gear that you're going to use and be so comfortable with it that you could operate it even in the dark without a flashlight.
Bring it back around. Go ahead and step that.
Now I have the muscle memory and I'm confident that I will not forget. This first drill took us over 6 minutes, and part of the delay was having to retrieve the person but then not be able to put the ladder in and to circle back around a second time to actually truly retrieve them. My preference on maneuvers and drills like this is to do a dry run, just putting my hands on every bit of equipment, going slow, thinking it through.
Are you pointing at them?
All right.
Okay. Because all I can do is watch your hand.
And then afterward evaluating what worked and what didn't work so that we can finesse and massage it. Our first run through was definitely rough, but the second one was much better.
Of course, when the boat's full, I can't maneuver it like that, can I?
11 o'clock.
Okay, I'm going to neutral.
The reason I turned to port on this man overboard drill is because the man overboard went off the boat on the port side, and I want to kick the stern with the propellers away from the person in the water.
How many feet away are they?
20.
Then there's no reason to circle around the other way and lose sight of them across the stern. It's better just to keep turning toward them and keep your eyes on them.
Am I close enough?
Forward.
How many feet away?
Forward, go 15, 10, 9, 8, 7.
We later realized hand signals would have worked better here.
6.
From back at the helm, I can't see a man overboard that is close to us in the water, but I do need to know our rate of approach in order to slow down sufficiently and not overshoot the victim. Our next step is a debriefing because we need to know what was effective and what was not effective, which areas we can shave a little bit of time, and how can we keep from crossing back and forth across the boat and wasting time to get back to our man overboard. This immediate analysis is crucial to improving our skills.
Alright, so what worked? What didn't work?
We didn't know how to put the ladder in.
So yeah, I didn't know for sure how the ladder went in. I was a little bit surprised when I got to it, it was on black caps. If it was on this side, we'd have to get the stairs out of the boat.
Yep.
Well, the boat's full of people, the boat's not going to maneuver that well.
No.
I definitely need to know how far ahead of us they are, so that I know whether when to go to neutral. 20 feet, 15 feet, 10 feet. And
There's a drill. Fire in the head. Fire in the head. Fire in the head. Okay.
I'm still processing man overboard. I want to do it again. Right.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
All right.
I started thinking about the things that are always in our way when we do this drill, and that would be the trash can and the steps. But then again, we have to practice the way it's actually going to be in real life, so I left them.
I'll tell you one thing, the straps on the PFD catch on this funny little wheel on the wheel. Let me know if you see a blue fender out there anywhere.
It's like you always
Man overboard. Everybody sit down except for the spotter.
When we performed this maneuver for the Coast Guard inspection, I did announce my pon at this point on the radio, simulating it.
You put it back on the port side if you want.
Nope, I'm not going to keep my eye off of them. You want to turn, and there's no point in like losing sight of them for a bit. Might as well turn the direction that gets you to them. So we're going to bring them up starboard midships.
At this point, we were still struggling to figure out how your spotter could do absolutely nothing but keep their eye on the person, and the person at the helm do nothing but drive the boat. We finally realized that we would just have to wait and do some of the moving steps and equipment later.
And don't take your eye off them. I probably have to do all that stuff, right?
The emergency exits on the boat have to remain clear. However, there are steps and a cooler and a trash can that sometimes get moved around, and we need more space than they will allow because the doors swing open and need to be lashed open.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Okay, everybody stay seated so I can see the person. I have to come do that probably because you can't take your eye off.
I'm watching you, Kim. 1 o'clock.
Okay, we've got to decide how we're going to do it when this guy's in here.
Okay. Do what you need to do. We're going to pass them again.
The boat that I'm operating here is a 45-foot pontoon boat with twin 200 horsepower Yamaha engines. It takes 49 passengers, 1 captain, and 1 crew. Its maneuverability is a lot different than a sailboat. I can put the boat in neutral and it will continue to track quite straight. I can leave the helm, walk around, look at things, and come back, and it holds its position, unlike a sailboat, which is more likely to veer off course. However, unlike a sailboat, I can't make any small last-minute adjustments. I have to get lined up well in advance of.
How many feet away?
10.
At this point on a sailboat, I could wiggle back and forth to move the whole boat closer to the man overboard. With the pontoon boat, I pretty much have one shot to get alongside.
How many feet away?
10. You got some reach.
This is the last chance that I have to make any last-minute adjustments, because if I miss the man overboard at this angle, I will have to go completely around in another circle to pick them up. Plus, if there's a lot of wind blowing, I could get blown away from them even more. So coordination with my spotter is crucial for recovering the man overboard.
How many feet away?
10. The tide's taking with it.
Yeah, I see it.
At this stage in the man overboard rescue, one of the few tricks I can still use is to turn away from the victim, which will swing my stern closer to them. If I turn toward them, it's going to swing me actually away from them, and I would have further to reach. At the same time, I have to factor in set and drift.
How many feet away?
Forward.
Yeah, I think we've got to figure out which person is going to do which things, because if the spotter absolutely cannot take their eyes off of the person, then the other person's got to do a bunch of the stuff, right?
So maybe you need to sit there and go, I've got them from the back end, and if you can see them, keep your eye on them while I do this stuff. Just because you're driving the boat doesn't mean that you can't sit there and spot them too.
So trade off on the spotting.
Exactly.
They're mine now. Now they're mine.
Now they're mine. I've got them. And then as we get closer to them, then just because you're driving the boat,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't spot.
True. All right. And no matter what, once we are starting that approach, we've got to position ourselves next to them. And I know that once we start that turn, we're never going to switch back and go the other way and take our eye off of them. I mean, once we start turning to starboard, we're going to keep going. Once we start turning to port, we're going to keep going, because that way we don't lose them under the bow, like visually. That's probably a good idea. Trade off on who is the spotter. As long as you have an agreement to do that with somebody, that will work. All right, ready?
I do.
We're going to throw them over. We're going to go get them.
Huh?
We're going to throw it over and go get it. Yeah. Let's practice until it's smooth, flawless, seamless, in control. Is there anything more I should be saying?
What side?
Everybody sit down. Man overboard. Sit down except for the spotter. of all stations, both us in the vicinity of Palatka Memorial Bridge. This is the pride of Palatka. We have a possible man overboard that we are retrieving, so we will be conducting maneuvers. Be advised, we are conducting man overboard maneuvers. Okay, I've got him. I can see him now. Picking him up on the port side. Everybody sit down. I can see them. I'm about to lose them in a second. I can see him.
Slow down.
I'm neutral.
10 feet. One more port.
Coming to port. Coming to port.
More port.
Let me know when I need to turn to starboard to kick the back of the boat toward them.
You're good. Just maintain.
Okay, I'm in neutral.
Okay. Recovered.
Okay, so that works pretty good if I can see them. What was surprising to me was how long it took before I could see them. I could not see them. Now, and you know what else we have to do? Is when the person goes overboard and we say man overboard, we probably have to say throwing man overboard ring and make the gesture like we're throwing the man overboard ring. But I couldn't see them for the longest. They're not wearing an orange jacket.
Yeah.
I probably can't see them at all.
And that's where that may not work.
Yeah.
If they throw a dummy, we may not be, unless you say, I've got visual on them.
Yeah. It's got to be pretty clear. I can see them now. I can't see them. I do not have them. I don't see them.
Whoever grabs it, I don't think they're gonna. I don't know how the Coast Guard person is gonna act. I mean, it's gonna go. No, you can. The person that originally spots does not take their eyes off it, and that may be the case.
That's usually what because what if the person that spots it is not in part? Who knows that we want to do it that way?
Maybe we just need to focus on doing it one spotter, and then you bring the boat around, start setting up everything, and then we'll do our approach. But I mean, the thing is to get to them.
And this one doesn't just turn like a sailboat. The other thing that you might not realize that I can do is like when they're too far from you, I can actually turn away from them to get the stern closer.
Okay.
And so at some points you might have to say, turn right and turn left to maybe kick the stern the other way.
The first time we ran through it, it took us about between 6 and 8 minutes. We were down to about 5 minutes the second time. This third time was 1 minute 26 seconds, so it was a lot more speedy recovery. I was a lot happier with that, and when we did the actual Coast Guard inspection, we ran it pretty much like that. Well, we met all of our objectives. We got the boat off the dock, we got our passengers loaded, we took them for a good ride, we got back to the dock, we ate a good lunch, and then we did our Coast Guard practices for week after next drills. So I feel a lot better about that now that we've actually put everything into motion and practiced what do we say, what do we do, what do we grab, and how did the different items on the boat actually work. There were a few surprises, like we found that we can't throw that ring nearly as far as we thought we could, but all in all, it was good practice. I think we've got routine down pat so that we can pass the Coast Guard safety exam, and hope you found this useful and interesting. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!